This is the Roller Coaster Podcast, and I'm your host, Lucy Q. Life is a wild ride. It has twists and turns. It's scary, exciting, and downright fun. So throw your head back, arms in the air, and come along with me for the ride.
Life is like a roller coaster, baby, baby. I wanna ride.
Do you hear that whisper? That little voice that tugs at your heart, telling you to start living your best life. If that sounds like you, then now is the time to join Nectar Growth. It's the only place online where you can connect with and learn from great coaches with different areas of expertise. Why live another day not believing that you're enough, not seeing all that is possible for you? Why live another day dimming your own light? Nectar is the perfect place for you to discover the real you and uncover who you're meant to be. Life is a journey that we are not meant to walk alone. Nectar gives you a nurturing and supportive community to walk with you on your journey. Start living your best life and see what is truly possible. Come join us at nectargrowth.com. You know you're worth it.
Ride.
We are all unique, energetic beings that possess equally unique frequencies, which can become blocked or out of tune. This, in turn, will impact all aspects of our lives. Depending on what resonates with you, modalities such as energy and card readings, crystal healing, and sound therapy might prove to be beneficial to clear blocks and unlock a new path. Joining me today is Barbra May, the founder of I Can Hear You, a series of workshop teaching, meditation, and mindfulness to children. She's the vibrant host of the Barbra May Show podcast and a gifted meditation teacher, psychic, and energy healer. And Barbra is here to share how you can realize and seize your own autonomy and personal voice. Welcome to the roller coaster, Barbra.
Hello, hello. Thank you very much for having me. So excited.
So that's a whole lot of things that you cover when it comes to, I want to say, healing our spiritual side, our souls. How is it that you actually bring it all together and work with a client to help them in healing?
Well, first of all, amazing introduction. Thank you so much for that. And in that introduction, you literally said that, and this is something what I have realized probably about 2 years ago. I have been doing so many different healing modalities, and I used to call myself a psychic. I used to call myself a medium. I used to call myself an energy healer, but that wasn't exactly what I've been doing. So I believe that we are made out of energy. So this is just a touching up on the thing what you said at the beginning. And energy for me is incredibly significant. Every single thing around us is made out of energy, and it has its own vibration and own frequency. And when those frequencies match, that's when things are happening. Okay, that is when we are able to manifest, and that is when we are able to attract things. That's when we are able to have an orgasm. It's all based. I like to bring this up.
I think all the women's ears just went, she said what?
Yeah, because it's that this is when the connection is the highest, when things match. When things don't match, they don't go very well. And the energies and us as a human beings, we depart from one another. So I think this is something what is very important to mention. And what I have been able to do since I have been very little girl, and I didn't understand what I was doing, is to read those energies. So I read energies. I have no idea how I do it. I can tell you how I am doing it, but I don't know why is this happening to me, or why this has been happening to me, by seeing things. So I see, you say, for example, name Susan, and I see number 8, I see a red color, and that's it. If you tell me Susan Brown, then I start seeing more things. So it's like I could kind of read the vibration and I could read the energy of the person. I don't know if this answered the question, because I completely got lost there, and I think I have answered something completely different.
No, it all makes sense, because that's always been my question is, well, how do you know? And how do you know that you know? And I know that's asking an almost impossible question. And for myself, sometimes I just know things. You feel it in your gut.
Okay, so the first thing over here is that we are all able to do what I am able to do. Okay, the reason why I am able to do it to the sense is because maybe it's because of my upbringing. Maybe I have been looking at things from a mindful way. Mindful, very popular word these days, so everybody understands it. Or it's about using the intuition. Okay, so we have intuition. All of us have the intuition. We would have not survived if they didn't have it. It's our survival instincts. Animals have it. It's something what has been scientifically proven that we do have the intuition. And it's all about how you're listening to your intuition, I suppose. And there's just like all those elements in, and being aware of things around you, being aware of leaves falling down. I have recently spoke to somebody on a podcast, and we were talking about the winter, and we were talking about the autumn, the changes of seasons. I've always been aware of the smell. It's not that the summer smells differently than the winter, but just the air becomes very thin. And I've always been aware of, like, always felt it, or like when you go to New York and you go to London and you go to, like New York and London, for example. So London has, even though it's a cosmopolitan city, for me, it has very cozy energy. When I'm in London, I feel very safe. In New York, for example, I feel very excited, but I feel very lonely. I feel like there is loads of distance and I don't feel that coziness. I hope this makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think everyone is aware of those things, but we are bypassing it, we don't sit down and just have a thought about it. How does this make me feel? When we design our house, we invite the furniture into our house, and that furniture is that energy of the furniture is vibrating with our energy. Some people like a wooden table, some people like glass tables. One day you like the wooden table and the other day you don't like the wooden table anymore, because your frequency changes, because it has been affected by a different type of energies. So everything is just so combined together. And I think the key over here is to find the right way and to match the energies what makes you feel good and makes your heart sing. I don't know if you are familiar with that term.
Yeah.
It's all about the heart. It's all about you. In the introduction you have said about me, you said you said about the autonomy of the voice and things like that. Like, we have been born to this earth as a one. Okay, we came out and it's just us. We have the parents who support us and teach us things and guides us throughout the life, but it's always about us. If we go into the relationship with somebody, okay, that person is our companion. If we have a children, we are guiding them again, but we are the fireball, and so many people do forget about that.
I almost want to say that they forget to remember, because just the pure way that our existence has evolved right now, it's taking us so far away from spirituality, from that interconnectivity, and even our connection as a whole, whether you want to call it the matrix, the universe, the higher consciousness, all of that seems to have fallen to the wayside. And I think that's why a lot of people have a hard time, even, I want to say, air quote here, believing in any of this. It's because I mean, even with the evolution of technology, it in itself is telling us you can't do these things. You need this device, you need this machine, you need this app to do all these things for you. And we forget that we have everything that we need inside.
Yep, very well said. Absolutely. And you said that we have all those things, like you said, the technology, the politicians, and there is always somebody who's trying to control us, no matter
Yes.
what way it is, right? Even our parents, sadly, because they have been controlled by their parents, so they're kind of copying that pattern and then bringing it in, even though they don't mean to do it. That's why the mindfulness is and should be very popular. That's why it's very important to slow down and to realize, what do I have around me? What do I want around me? At the end of the day, it's always your choice. It's always you who is here to decide. Yeah, and that's why I think it's very important to have coaches and mentors and people like this, because they are able to kind of put you back on that path. And when you are on that path, you will claim the power back. I don't know if you have heard about this, but there is so many things and so many talks about do not give your power away. And I think this has started obviously with COVID and loads of anti-vaxxing topics, but it's mainly about you have that power, you are the fireball. As soon as you're going to give it away, somebody else will use it for their own advantage. But what will happen is that you are not going to have as much as you need, so you can roll and be fired and you can shine. You know, I always use this example, and I said this to so many of my clients, is that imagine that you have this fire, and this fire keeps you warm, this flame. If you're going to go around those and put the logs on other people's fires and trying to support them, they're going to be sitting there and they're going to be warm and comfortable, but your fire will die, your flame will die. So overall, it's always about you. So whatever you want, you can do. You can use your voice. You got given that voice. If you don't know how to do it because you haven't had a good childhood or whatever reasons, been abused by partners or whatever, there is always somebody who will help you. But the life is yours. It has been given to you. You know, so probably went a bit far there, but
you know, it's okay. And you know, one of the things you touched on there is losing or giving away our power, whether it's, I don't want to say it's our, ultimately, yes, it's our choice, but sometimes the circumstances have dictated it to be that way. And you have to find a way to fight and bring it back, to get that flame back for yourself. And it's actually something it's a repeating pattern in my life, and I've been getting better at taking back my power, taking back my voice. But it's popped up again recently. And, you know, and that's why before we sort of hit record, I've never had a conversation with Barbara before. We don't know who each other are. Barbara has no clue who I am. And one of the things I wanted to explore in this episode was for Barbara to tune into me so that, you know, anyone out there listening could get an idea of what this looks like, how it evolves, and then how any blocks that come up, what I can do to resolve them. So, you know, I said to Barbara, you know, I gave her permission to tune into me and to share what she feels in the reading that she's getting. And then we're going to explore and see how I can resolve them.
So what I am picking up on you, and this is what I have been picking up since we started talking, is a rainbow. Okay. So rainbow for me. So this is the way how I do it. I normally explain what I see. So you kind of relate to it. And obviously I don't want you to tell me anything. I tell you when when I kind of ran out of things. So I see rainbow, and rainbow for me stands for creativity. I see you being limited. Okay. I see there is so much you can do and so much you are capable of, but I feel like you are limited, and I feel like you know that as well. I feel art, I see artwork. Okay. So I'm just thinking now, is it because, am I seeing it because you want to do art? Or is it, no, I see it that I see something art related. Okay. So creative. I'm picking up on sister, and this is I've been picking up on since the beginning. I'm just getting sister, 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 sister. I might need to ask you about some questions about that, but from this point of view, I tell you what I'm picking up on, and then we can dive deeper into it. I'm picking up as somebody who is your sister, or who is like a sister figure, but I feel like she's related to you, and stronger than you. I don't know, just something is not there. I don't know if this is something you want to kind of dive into, if you want me to continue on that.
Why not?
Yeah, I feel like yeah. So I don't want to go to that, by the way. But I just feel like I don't want to go do it on the podcast. So maybe we can do it.
No, fair enough. Or do you want to keep going, or do you want me to comment on some of what you said?
Okay, so number 4, I'm getting a number 4 with you, and I'm getting number 8 with you. Number 8 is obviously confidence, which is very easy to read because you speak publicly on a podcast and etc. So that's, everybody will guess that. And number 4 is that you choose harder ways in your life. So, and I think you are doing it because you want to experience things. You like to go through the harder ways, but it's not about self-punishment or anything like that, because some people do that. Obviously, they're addicted to suffering. It's not you. It's about learning things. Also picking up something with Thursday. I don't know if you were born on Thursday. Yeah, Thursdays, 4s, maybe Thursdays, something. I don't know. Don't tell me. You have a think about it. Maybe you find out that somebody was born on Thursday or something. Okay, now you can ask. Water, sorry, water. But that's something what we talked about before.
Okay, so there's 2 things that you touched on there that I think would be easy to speak to on this episode. And one, you commented about there's so much I can do that I'm capable of doing, and I know it, but I'm also limited.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bang on.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you spoke about the number 4, that I choose the harder way, I joke with my husband and I say I'm a slow learner, because I get there in the end, with life lessons, I get there in the end. I just take 3 times as longer as anyone else, because I have to figure it out for myself. I'm not sure. I'm getting better at asking for help, but I learn best when I don't want to say when I go through the pain, but when I go through it, that's when it sticks. Okay,
just be careful over there, because I feel like that those lessons you have been learning them for quite some time.
Yes.
And if you keep repeating the same pattern, which I think only you are the one who can stop it and say, okay, well, I'm ready to move on and go and stop saying that. I think if you keep repeating it, it will start knocking your confidence down a little bit. So maybe that's why I felt the number 8, because I felt to remind you that there is the confidence. So maybe if you are ready, whenever you are ready, you can rewire it and you can say, I'm not slow learner anymore. I have learned all of it. So now I am ready to be learning an easy way. Give it to me. I'll have it all.
And that's sort of the point where I'm at, is that, let's just say it's taking me 30 years of a repeating pattern that I received the final blow. And now I'm ready to say, that's it. I cannot allow this in my life anymore. It's too damaging. It's never going to be resolved. I need to, regain that confidence, regain my voice, and move on.
Claim that power back.
Yeah, claim it back.
Yeah, because when we give our power away, we're not only giving it to humans, because just think about it as an energy. We are giving it away, we're throwing it behind us because of whatever reason, It's like the famous sentences are like, if you show up, things will happen for you. If you don't show up, nothing's going to happen to you. So if you show up for yourself, as I said, you are the most important thing here, everywhere, then things will happen for you.
Yeah. And, we all have our lessons to learn. And, I find, wherever you are in your path, when you're able to put that line in the sand and say, okay, I'm going to choose a different way. It's hard. And that's where, I have to draw my confidence, because it's a fairly deep line that I'm drawing. But I know it's what's best. I know it's what's best for me.
I think what can be useful for listeners is that there are so many, obviously, podcast books and for self-help and all those kind of things, and everybody's telling us how to change a life, and it's just like overwhelm of information out there, and some people are not able to follow it. For some people, this pattern, it just doesn't work. They really need somebody, a person, which will kind of mentor them into it, because not everybody can do it. And as I said before, is like, like you are in a relationship, you're in an abusive relationship. And the reason why you are in an abusive relationship is because you need to learn to stand up for yourself. But if nobody tells you that, and if you are not going to accept it, you're just going to keep repeating the same pattern over and over and over. And there will be another relationship, which is going to be abusive. And you're not going to stand up for yourself. So I just want to say to listeners, it's very important. If you don't know, and if you feel they are very overwhelmed by all these topics and people talking about it, claim your power back and blah, 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 think positive, blah, 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 blah. If that doesn't work for you, if that doesn't help you, please find the person. And if you don't know how to find it, I'm happy to help you to find it. And the person will change your life, because they always see things from a different perspective.
And I think I've been able to create the biggest changes in my life by working with people to help me. And it's not necessarily, for me, it's not one person over, a long period of time. I use different, I work with different people in different ways to help resolve different aspects of what I'm working with. It's like having your own team. But really, I've seen the most growth, the most healing since working with people, because I had been reading the books and listening to the videos and doing all of that for years. And sure, your intellectual mind can absorb that information, but your heart, your spirit, your soul, that's something completely different. You have to sort of really get in touch with your feelings and understand why they're that way, and how you can work yourself through certain situations.
Mm-hmm. You cut out there a little bit. You said, I have been reading, and then I lost you.
Oh, okay. So no, I've been reading, I've read the books. I've been there, done that. And, it was my intellectual mind that absorbed the information, but it was my heart, my soul that couldn't heal. It's, you kind of have to balance the two. And that's where working with someone like yourself is made the difference. It's who you have on your team to help you break through some of the traumas, the hurt, the pain.
We have not been designed as a human to be isolated and to be separated from one another. We used to live in tribes, and that's why it worked. The women used to look after their babies, man used to hunt, all these stories together, and that's why it worked. So we're not supposed to be doing this alone.
No, we're not. But here we are. And I think the last year and a half, 2 years has amplified that, is that, we are all isolated. We all are within our own homes, and we don't have that tribe around us to support us. And in many cases, you don't even know how to find the tribe, how to ask for help. We're so cut off.
Well, I'm very happy to help anybody who's listening and who feels a bit lost. I'm so happy to do that. And for people who are looking for the right person, I would probably just go with somebody who you look up to. And then when you look up to the person, I would check out what the person is doing, because there are so many people I have been looking up to and they're selling courses for $15,000. So just like kind of verify that. And then I would ask the person if they do any kind of coaching or anything like that to reach out to them. And if the people are scared to reach out to them, you can always get a friend to reach out to them on your behalf.
Yeah. And you can, depending on what type of person you connect with, you can start by, going to, their website or looking at their videos and that to get an idea of who they are and if they resonate with you. But simply relying on the books and YouTube videos and whatnot is not enough in a lot of cases. You do need that extra self, because, even as something as simple as watching different videos on tarot reading, how you can get monthly tarot or weekly tarot on YouTube. And it's interesting to watch because things might crop up that you're like, okay, that means something to me, but you may get 1% out of 99 that makes sense to you. But working with an individual one-on-one, it's like tuning the radio into your specific frequency.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I teach people to do them for themselves. So I kind of guide them. I have an amazing client and I've been teaching her how to channel informations, and she's been doing probably better than I do. But that's because I don't know, she's just incredible, like the stuff, what she's been picking up on. Yeah, it's all about the way how you explain it. Yeah, so I love what I do. Really love it.
Makes sense.
What was the second thing you when I did the reading
it
for
was
you,
just limiting myself, that I know I can do more, but I don't. So what is one thing I can do to start to remove, I'm probably limiting myself. So what's something I can do to remove those blocks that I am probably putting up myself?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
Okay. So I would say to you that you need to take a pen and paper. And on that pen and paper, you need to write down everything you want. Everything you and only you want. So if you want to ride with unicorns, write it down on a piece of paper. No, there is no judgment. There is absolutely no shame, absolutely nothing. If you want to climb Kilimanjaro, write down that's what you want to do. When you have those things written down, you narrow it to the most important things on that list. Okay. And again, if that's climbing Kilimanjaro or whatever, that's the most important thing. And then you will keep narrowing it down and you will choose the one which is the most important thing. It can be decluttering, honestly. It can be just something what makes your heart sing, like I said before, something what makes you very happy, something what gives you joy. And then you will see, then you act up on it. If it's getting a driving license and you haven't got the money, whoever's listening, get the job first, you just come those things and you start ticking those boxes off. And as soon as you start doing that, you will get the energy moving and you will start opening the doors. And when you open one door, another two will open. When you open two, we'll open the second and a third, the fourth and a fifth and a sixth and seventh will open. The things will shift and things will change. So think about it like you are decluttering your house. All is energy, and the energy will be stagnant if it's not moving.
That makes sense.
And if it doesn't resonate with you anymore, like we say, what no longer serves us, get rid of it. That is stagnant energy. We don't need it anymore. So We need to move it away, and something what is meant to come to our life will come to our life. You can't start building a new relationship on old ones, because the new one will never work. So yeah, it's very simple, and it's out there. It's everywhere in the titles, you know, but there are those little subtitles what people don't think about because they just don't stop. And yeah, and are not mindful.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And you've certainly given me a lot of things to reflect on.
You have so many things on your mind. You have so many things of what you want to be doing. I feel like you are giving the power away as well. Maybe it's by, maybe you should do another podcast where it's just going to be you, you know, like when you feel ready for it. I'm not saying like not to do interviews. I do podcasts with my interviews, and I'm learning so much from the people, and I love having those connections. Maybe you need to work with your superpower. Maybe your superpower is the confidence, you know, because all of us are here to change something. So you said before we were talking about like all of us and like the whole concept of we are the one. So the way how I explain it to my clients is that look at a photo, and I usually say Mickey Mouse. Okay, Mickey Mouse is standing on a field, and behind her are the clouds. Yeah. So some people are the clouds, some people are the grass, some people are the eyes, some people are the ears, or whatever. We are all that picture. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If there is one puzzle missing, it's not complete. It doesn't look right. So we are all one, you know. There was when they done some Reiki healing experiments and things like that, there was time when I don't know how many people exactly, I don't want to say the number, because I'm not sure, we're meditating at about the same time, and because they came together, they raised the vibration, and somewhere in America, the crime was just so low, the percentage. I don't know the exact
I remember.
story.
Yeah, I remember that one, definitely.
So we have it in front of our eyes. Everybody talks about it. I think it's time to accept it. It's not just woo-woo. It's scientifically proven we are made out of energy.
Yes.
It's scientifically proven that you cannot kill the energy. So what happens to the energy when the energy leaves the body? You know, it's fascinating. I'm like every single day I'm learning more and more and more about it. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I do believe that, you know, if any time was right, now is the time to start to come back together and come back to those primal roots that we have, and start to create the healing that this world so desperately needs.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a freaking hippie sometimes, you know, because no, I do, you know, like back in the 60s, it was all about the love, the power of love, the flowers. And I'm thinking all I'm talking about right now in 2021 is all about the love, all about the love.
It's what we need. It's what's missing.
Step into your heart, add a little bit of flowers to your, you know, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like obviously nothing against hippies. They were fantastic. Obviously I don't do the drugs on that side. But it's crazy. It's all coming back, and it's just remind us there's some pattern which has not been fixed because humanity was not ready for it. It's coming back, it's repeating itself. And we all deserve it. We all deserve the love, and we all deserve the flowers.
We do. That's some excellent words of wisdom as we wrap up. Barbara, if someone's looking at working with you or learning more about what you do, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
So I have this thing, it's called the Spiritual Tea. It's on my website, which is www.barbramay.com, BARBRA. Is spelled slightly differently. And that's just 15 minutes with me. You can come and you can chat for 15 minutes with me and tell me all about yourself, and just to see if it works, because I might not be suitable for some people, and some people might find me suitable. And then people can find me on my Instagram, which is at Barbra May _ I share loads of stuff about crystals, cards, energies, and I have podcasts as well, which is there to build the bridge between spirituality and the physical world. So I have amazing people there, authors, mentors, talking about all sorts of different topics, from sugar addiction to how to connect to death. and so if anybody's interested, you can just scroll down, pick the topic you are interested to find more about, and yeah, that's it.
To connect with Barbra, make sure you check out the show notes. I'm going to have all of the links, including a link to her podcast in there. And Barbra, this was really interesting. I really appreciate everything that you shared with me. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Roller Coaster Podcast. Want to chat or share your ideas about today's show? Pop me an email at hello@therollercoasterpodcast.com. Don't forget to connect with me on Facebook and Instagram at The Roller Coaster Podcast. Our theme song, Roller Coaster, was performed by The Lucky Setback. Audio editing by the one and only Jeff Quigley of Quigley Creative.
Life is like a roller coaster, baby.